What's up, my people? Boy, have I got something special, real special for you today. I've been talking back and forth with my very dear friend Adam pretty much this whole last week, and we've just been deciphering code hidden in the genome and whatnot. And so I decided I'd like to share a little something with you today. And so I'm going to play this little short clip for you. It's called The Fountain. It's a movie that came out, and I thought it was quite interesting. It came up on my search. So I'm going to play this for you real quick here, and we'll let you just decide what you think when you get done watching it. And then we'll explore a little more when we're done. Okay, so let me try to play this here for you. Let's see here. There we go. All right.
A special tree grows hidden. The tree of life. They say whoever drinks of its sap will live forever.
From bondage. Take this ring. It is a symbol of your pledge to find the elixir of immortality. You shall wear it when you find Eden. And when you return, I shall be your Eve. Is everything alright?
Everything's alright.
How's she doing?
She had a seizure.
Wait! I'm afraid!
It's been progress at work.
My conquistador, always conquering.
We tested the substance. There's hope.
Your wife needs you.
Death is a disease.
When it's secure, I will find it. You pulled me through time.
Don't worry. We're almost there. Our bodies are prisons for our souls.
I'm not afraid anymore, Tommy.
All flesh decays. Death turns all to ash. And thus, death frees every soul.
Together we will live forever.
The Fountain, y'all. The Fountain. Okay, so I really enjoyed that because I'd like to talk to you about the Fountain of Youth and something surrounding the Fountain of Youth gene, as it were. And so, first of all, what is the fountain? And can we find evidence of that in the genome? Well, yes, we can. And what I'm about to show you here is the etymology of the genes, which I'm writing a book about. I just want to give you a little short snippet. According to the etymology, the POU, or POW, as it's called, is a name for someone who lived by the well or pit, as it's called. All right. And if we go and look at another link surrounding the etymology, because words mean shit, okay? I believe it was Webster said if you can find the original meaning of a word, that's what you should go with. And so we see here that the word pow also means peacock. And so I know that the peacock surrounds the pine cone in Vatican City. Okay. Now, the pine cone obviously is a representation of your pineal gland. Okay. So there's a lot of symbolism going on between, you know, the use of words, the genes that we have, quite frankly, you know, the etymologies, religion, mythologies, all these things are intertwined. You absolutely cannot separate them once you understand what you're looking at. And so this fountain of youth was said to be connected to a tree, the tree of life, from which this fountain is supposedly sitting underneath the tree of life. And this fountain is a representation of the well, okay? Or the pit, as it's called. The well or the pit is the fountain, okay? And so you've got sets of genes in your body. One of them is called Nanog gene. I'm not going to show you the gene right now, but I just wanted to show you that Nanog literally means promised land or land under the wave, which would be connected to water, which would be the well or the fountain of youth. Okay, it's also called the Isle of the Apple Tree. Okay, and then down here it explains even more. The plain of honey is even another reference to it, which were depicted as an island paradise of supernatural realm of everlasting youth, beauty, health, abundance, and joy. Okay. So the Nanog gene in you stimulates stem cell production, which is connected to longevity factors, anti-aging, if you will. But the most important thing to take away from this in relation to today's discussion is land under the wave, which is connected to a well or a pit, which is connected to a fountain or the fountain of youth, which is connected to peacocks and pine cones. So do they know something that we don't? When they're building statues like this in the Vatican, I would venture to say absolutely they know 100% what they're doing. So also connected to the anti-aging aspect of our anatomy, our biology, is a gene called Clotho, okay, which we'll get into now. And Clotho's was one of the three sisters of fate. And one of them, called the Moirai or the Aurea, as I'll show you, spun the thread of human life. Yes, you have a gene called Clotho, which we will get into. Okay. But before we do, I wanted to share another video with you that Adam sent over to me this morning and allow you to understand just a little bit better of kind of what's taking place. Secret esoteric knowledge of Christ within us. It's this secretion that takes place from the pituitary gland. I'll just let you listen in.
In the brain, in the cranium, there is the cerebrum. And in the cerebrum, and in particular the claustrum is sitting right there in the middle of the head, virtually. From the claustrum there is a secretion, brain fluid. And this fluid is an oil. And in ancient times, this fluid was called, in Greek, it's called Christos. It's called the Christ. It's this beautiful fluid which comes from the cerebrum and pours down the spinal cord. It goes down the spinal cord and it reaches the sacral plexus, right next door to the sacrum, which are the 5 second bottommost fused vertebrae bones at the bottom of the spinal column. The bottommost portion of the spinal column is called the coccyx. Then just above that is the sacrum. 5 fused bones. So the sacral plexus is connected to the sacrum. And the fluid which comes from the cerebrum pours down the spinal cord and comes to the bottommost part of the spinal cord. Now, the claustrum is otherwise known as the holy claustrum, simply because of this beautiful oil, this Christos, that is produced and secreted. You see, the word secret comes from secretion, because this secretion is a secret. And the sacrum is the sacred part of the secret. As the secretion pours down the spinal cord and reaches the sacrum, this is the marvelous way in which our body has been designed. And the spinal cord is basically just an extension of the brain. It also does thinking.
Okay. Did you catch that? So, more or less within the pituitary gland and the cerebrum, it secretes this holy oil known as Christos, which is connected to what's known as colostrum. Okay, so allow me to enlighten you. I want you to hone in on this word pit right here. Okay. Now, in my search, well, first of all, let me show you this. Prolactin, which is a hormone, stimulates the production of colostrum, which is connected to this sacred oil that is secreted. Okay. And it allows the mother to produce milk, which is a whole other topic associated with these ancient mythologies surrounding immortality and the drinks of immortality, in which it was said that these deities spun or churned the ocean's milk to produce this drink, which granted them immortality, which that's a whole other topic. And yes, there is a bunch of genes surrounding that as well. And so in your body, you've got a gene called POU domain. Again, POU connecting to the well or the pit. And the alias for this is Pit 1. Do you think that is by chance that they named this gene Pit 1, associated with the POW class domain, associated with the well? So in other words, the well is the pit, the pituitary, in which prolactin secretes colostrum, the Christos, out. Okay? And again, there's in relation to anti-aging and immortality and the fountain of youth and all these things, there's a lot of stuff going on. But the Aurea, who spun the thread of life, okay, and the Aurea were also, bear with me here, we're also known, let me just do a quick search here. We're associated with heaven and gateways. Where's it at? Let me show you. Allow me to enlighten you. Where did it go here? Peace, justice, and harmony. There it is. In Greek mythology, the Aurea are the keepers of the gates of heaven, the Eunomia, orders of harmony, the Dike, justice, and the Eirene, peace. The keepers of the gates, connected to Clotho, the three sisters of fate, who spun the thread of human life. The gatekeepers, who help spin the thread of life. Connected to Clotho. And yes, Clotho is in part secreted by the pituitary. The origin of circulating Clotho is, however, not fully understood. Blah, blah, blah. Our data suggests that the pituitary can be a key organ that regulates circulating Clotho concentrations, implying that the pituitary possibly controls circulating Clotho. Think they know something we don't? Pineal gland, pituitary gland, hypothalamus, regions of the brain. Okay. What else do we find here? Oh, yeah. So Clotho secretes a certain enzyme known as beta glucokidases. But, excuse me, I can't pronounce half this stuff. I don't need to. So when we look this stuff up, what's this? Molecular basis. This is something I wanted to show you. This word right here, guys. Check it out. So we just take this word here. So in other words, Clotho is connected to almonds. Okay, connected to B17. I wonder why that's illegal to purchase. And has been deemed in the medical literature as quackery. Oh, that's interesting. But isn't it funny that this compound is in fact related to almonds? Okay, same word right here, Clotho. So they did a study that Clotho, upregulating Clotho in mice increases their life expectancy by 30%. Okay, connected to gateway genes through the three sisters of fate, connected to the pituitary, which is connected to the secretion of colostrum and peacocks and pine cones, and the land under the wave, connected to the fountain of youth, connected to the well. Okay. I just thought the almond thing was pretty interesting because in the literature, we see that the almond represents the tonsils as well. And a lot of people get their tonsils removed, which is more or less one of your first lines of defenses for your innate immune system to be able to recognize what's foreign and what's not. We just take that completely out. It doesn't matter, right? Heck, I even got mine removed when I was young. And this is pretty interesting as well. The hypothalamus is the size of an almond. So tonsils and the hypothalamus, almonds, pituitary glands related to the fountain of youth. And yes, we know how to modulate all these things. And so I just find it completely fascinating that the fountain of youth connected to the ancient Irish and Celtic mythologies surrounding what looks and appears to be the Garden of Eden and appears to be connected to some sort of land under a wave. Boy, that sounds like a well to me, located downward. And in the literature, the tree of life is said to have a fountain of youth located underneath it. And there's a few different mythologies surrounding that as well. And we have genes for them. And these deities, whatever you want to call them, also it said that Christ had a throne next to the fountain of youth as well. And so did other deities as well, connected to serpents that could literally manifest themselves half human, half serpent, or be completely. They're called the Naga. The Naga were connected to the drink of immortality as well. And anyways, they coated the roots of this tree of life with a white film of nature that stopped the decaying of the root, which kept the tree of life from decaying, but also gave them, in part, immortality as well. And all this stuff, the story of all this is wrapped up in the genes. I mean, just look at this. Do you think that this is a coincidence? Pit 1 connected to PAL class. And yeah, this regulates mammalian development. Okay. Associated with the inflammatory response systems, associated with prolactin. So prolactin produces colostrum, which is the secretion of colostrum, which is said to be the oil, which is said to be the Christos, if you will. All right, I know this stuff gets pretty crazy. And so yeah, I just thought I'd share that nugget with you guys. Lots of stuff going on here. And I found a tremendous amount of more data as well that I'll be putting in the book, but also we'll be bringing remedies to the world based on this information, what exactly they're talking about, how these things affect us on a biochemical level, what can be done to basically manipulate or modulate these genes and their expression so that we can get back to the way we were intended to be, that perfect creation, right? We were created in the image of. That means we were perfect creation. Somewhere along the line, something happened. You look at ancient texts, they used to live for thousands of years. What happened? Something happened, right? And it's surrounding these types of things here. So thanks for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe and share, if you please. And we'll see you again soon. All right. Much love, guys.